Welcome back to another video, Rams Nation. Today I'm bringing to you the Rams at Vikings preview, and the Rams are coming off of a 33-7 dominating win over the Houston Texans, and the Vikings are coming off of a 38-30 win over the Washington Redskins. First, I'm going to jump into some team stats. Points per game, Rams 32.9. They had 33 points last week, but 32.9 is first in the NFL. The Vikings averaged 24.1. Points allowed per game, the Rams allow an average of 18.0 points per game, and that's third best in the NFL. And the Vikings allow 18.3, which is very similar to the Rams, and that is fifth best in the NFL. So both have pretty decent defenses. Pass yards per game, the Rams have 260.1. Jared Goff is having a phenomenal year. The Vikings have 245.8 pass yards per game. A lot of that is Case Keenum. They did have Sam Bradford earlier in the year, but it's Case Keenum. Maybe Teddy Bridgewater will see some time, maybe this week, maybe down the road. But it's going to be Case Keenum at the start in this one. And rush yards per game, the Rams have 128.8, and the Vikings have 118.0. So very similar there. But I'd have to give the Rams the advantage on that one. The Vikings will be without their star rookie running back Dalvin Cook because he tore his ACL earlier in the year. But that number is kind of high because of him earlier in the year. But Jerick McKinnon and Latavius Murray will do a pretty good job for the Vikings, I believe. And for total yards per game, the Rams have 388.9, and that is third best in the NFL. And the Vikings have 363.8 total yards per game. And if you paid attention to all of those, the Rams lead in every single one over the Vikings. Now for the injury report this week, the Rams do have quite the lengthy one with John Sullivan, Andrew Whitworth, and Connor Barwin are all in the injury report as usual, but they're resting right now. Sean McVay is keeping them out. They're the old guys, so they got to get their rest. Excuse me. And Mark Barron also is getting rest just from that knee injury that he suffered earlier in the year, but excuse me. He's been resting for the past couple weeks anyways, so it's not anything different. LaMarcus Joyner is out, did not practice with the hip. Malcolm Brown with his knee injury. Roger Saffold, Troy Hill, Derek Carrier, Matt Longacre all did not practice. But Sean McVay said that he does expect a lot of those guys to play. And Robert Quinn, who missed last game with an illness, was a limited participant. I wonder if that illness is still bothering him a little bit, but I think he should be good to go this week. If it's just an illness, if it's like a cold or something, he should be fine. And for the Vikings, they have Mike Remmers, Everson Griffin, Anthony Harris, Jeremiah Searles. Those were all limited participants. Stephen Weatherly was a full participant. Can't speak today. And Andrew Sendejo did not practice. He's a key safety. He's one of their safeties, him and Harrison Smith. But he's injured. He's a key player on their defense. And if he does not play, that will be that'll hurt the Vikings. Now, who are these Vikings? Well, they're a pretty good team. They're 7-2 entering this game. Their defense is very good, in my opinion. One of the best in the NFL. If you look at their stats, they're one of the best. But I think their offense is a little bit, I don't know if it's overrated. I don't know if anyone's really talking about the Case Keenum-led offense, but they get a lot more credit than I think they deserve. Now, going to their defense, they do have the third best run defense. Linville Joseph, their defensive tackle, their nose tackle. He is one of the best run stuffers in the NFL, if not the best. So it's going to be tough for Todd Gurley to run up the middle. Probably going to have to hit the edge. In addition, Everson Griffin, Anthony Barr, Brian Robeson are all great pass rushers. They're all going to get after Jared Goff. It's going to be probably the best test for the Rams offensive line. So far this season is a very good group. Xavier Rhodes is one of the best corners in the NFL. They say Rhodes closed. I was talking to a guy on Twitter, and he's kind of annoying me, but as far as that goes, yeah, Xavier Rhodes, he has, I saw a list earlier in the year of all the wide receivers. They're all elite. They're all, top 5, top 10 wide receivers, and he has shut them down. So whoever he's guarding, Robert Woods, Samuel Watkins, might not have much success. I don't know if he'll follow anyone, but he is a shutdown corner. And Harrison Smith and Andrew Sendejo are very good safeties. Harrison Smith is very aggressive. But other than that, let's go to the offense. Former Rams quarterback Cougar Case Keenum, that is, gets the start over Teddy Bridgewater. Many thought that Teddy Bridgewater might have a chance since he was, they just brought him back from injured reserve or the PUP list or something, but they just brought him back. But later, just keep in mind, Teddy Bridgewater, just hold that thought. Jerick McKinnon and Latavius Murray replace rookie running back Dalvin Cook, like I said. Jerick McKinnon's nickname is Jet for a reason. He is very fast. He catches a lot of screens, gets to the edge very quick, makes defenses pay. And Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen are having great years. They're a very good wide receiver tandem. And, Stephon Diggs is one of the shorter, shiftier wide receiver types, and Adam Thielen is he's 6'2". Tremaine Johnson will probably be lined up on him more than Diggs. And rookie center Pat Elflein is having a great season. He's looking like a veteran out there. All right, now I'm going to get into the keys for the Rams to win the game. They're going to have to do a lot right in this one to make sure they win against the 7-2 Vikings. The first key to win that I have is let Case Keenum win the game. Well, how is that a key for the Rams to win the game? Well, Case Keenum, when you think about it, isn't that good of a quarterback. Yes, he's having a good year, but this is the best year that he's had. The Rams defense is no joke. I believe that Case Keenum hasn't really had a real test like the Rams defense this year. So if we get after him early, start making him make some mistakes, we should be fine. We do not want Jerick McKinnon running outside, hitting the edge, because his name is Jet McKinnon for a reason. My second key to win is to come up with a game plan similar to the one against the Texans. Tom Savage I think is similar to Case Keenum. They're both backup quarterbacks for their career. They're not either one of them very good. And the Rams if you watch the game, Tom Savage, started off early, started off pretty hot, looked pretty good, but he wasn't able to sustain that the whole game. The Rams got after him, and he started making mistakes. That's what we're going to have to do with Case Keenum. And on offense, I think we're going to have to pass early to open up the run game. There's no getting past Linval Joseph in that defensive line. Todd Gurley's going to have to hit the edge, but we're going to have to get the passing game open early. I think we should run some screens with Gurley, and maybe like Tavon Austin, get him going, Cooper Kupp, just short dink and dunks. I think that's going to work best for the Rams. And like I was saying earlier, Case Keenum against the Redskins in the fourth quarter threw 2 picks. So he is cold right now, and I think if he were to continue to be cold, then the Rams have a really good shot in this one. And also the rookie center, Pat Elflein, that I highlighted earlier, he's a rookie. And this game he's going up against Aaron Donald, which is the opposite of a rookie. He's a future Hall of Famer. And Michael Brockers, who's having a career year for him. And so we're going to have to make Pat Elflein look like a rookie. He has been looking like a veteran, maybe even a Pro Bowler. But with Aaron Donald and Michael Brockers lined up across from him, I think he's going to be scared, and we're going to have to take advantage of that. Now I'm going to make some predictions for this game. I believe Sammy Watkins, Robert Woods, and Cooper Kupp will all have 50-plus yards. I think it's going to have to be a balanced effort because they do have Xavier Rhodes and Harrison Smith and Andrew Sandejo. They have a very good secondary, and I think they're all going to have a balanced day, and a balanced effort is going to be needed for the Rams to win. I think Gurley will actually be the leading receiver, though. I think the Rams are going to utilize a lot of screens, and I think that's what's going to have to happen for the Rams to win. And also, I think the Rams make a statement with their run defense. I think this is a game where they shut it down early and then get Case Keenum to pass, and like I said, win the game for them. And my bold prediction for this one, like I said, keep in mind Teddy Bridgewater. I think Teddy Bridgewater will enter the fourth quarter, the first drive of the fourth quarter for the Vikings. He will enter the game, and the Rams will have a 14-plus point lead. So, and I think Case Keenum's going to have a couple turnovers, and that's going to be the start of the Teddy Bridgewater train. And I think maybe Teddy Bridgewater, if he performs well, will be handed the keys and to take this train for the Vikings. But that'll be my bold prediction for this one. The last meeting between these two teams was in 2015, where the Vikings won 21-18 in overtime. That was played in the Vikings' old stadium, and it was played this time of year, so it was kind of chilly. And Nick Foles was the quarterback for the Rams. He threw for 168 yards. LaMarcus Joyner, if you remember, knocked out Teddy Bridgewater. When Teddy Bridgewater scrambled and slid, LaMarcus Joyner went into him and hit him in the head. I don't really think it was that dirty, but many people did. I mean, I might be a biased Rams fan, but I still think Joyner was trying to get out of the way. It's very hard to try to avoid hitting him when you already start. And Adrian Peterson crushed the Rams. He ran the ball for like 29 times for 125 yards and a touchdown. They don't have him this time. They don't have a running back nearly as good as him this time. And also, one thing I want to point out, Sean Hill went in for Teddy Bridgewater when he got knocked out. It's pretty funny. The Vikings have Sam Bradford, Case Keenum, and Sean Hill, or they did have Sean Hill, and they all are former quarterbacks for the Rams. So another bold prediction I have: Jared Goff, when he's at the end of his career, is probably going to be a Viking. The Vikings are going to try to steal, like, maybe even Sean Mannion or something. They must like our quarterbacks for some reason. And to close this video out, I'm going to make my prediction, and I believe it's going to be 31-17 Rams. I think the Rams are just going to keep on rolling on offense, and their defense is 17 points. That's kind of average for them. So I think the Rams are going to roll on in this one. They're going to move to 8-2. They're going to continue leading the NFC West. I think the Vikings are one of the most overrated teams in the NFL. I don't know. They haven't really played anyone. They barely beat the Ravens, barely beat the Bears. They lost to the Lions, who aren't doing too hot this year. They did beat the Saints early in the year, but the Saints were 0-2. That was their second loss at the beginning of the year. The Saints are a completely different team now. I fear them more than the Vikings. I fear the Eagles more than the Vikings. Maybe even the Seahawks more than the Vikings. With that being said, that's it for this video, Rams Nation. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, leave a comment, share, do whatever you can. Go Rams, horns up.